Minecrafters and Redstoners. I am Natanis Likens. How's everybody doing today? Recently, I posted a video where I was talking about my copper aging farm. And a comment was posted, why don't I do it a different way so that it's nice and sleek and everything? And I kind of pointed out that because of the way copper aging works, that's not going to work very well. It will work eventually, but it's going to be the slowest possible way you could age copper. And they proceeded to tell me that no, they disagree. They think it doesn't matter. How you place copper doesn't mean anything at all ages the same. No, there's a big difference. And if Exuma Void sees this, I want to try and disprove you right now. No hostility meant, but your method with putting copper on top of already oxidized copper is not the fastest. Actually, the fastest is the traditional, 4-block pattern spread. It actually is way faster. So, in order to prove this, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a time lapse of me placing all the copper, and then we are going to wait and see what happens with each one of these different sections. So let's go over what we are going to do. Obviously, I've got the section right there that is spread out 4. So every 5th block is going to have a copper block on it. Then we have on top of already oxidized copper. And then I'm going to do one that is just a slate of just copper. And then we're going to do like the person suggests that we change the aging machine to and have it just like a row of copper, which is obviously because of the way it works and everything, it's going to be 2 apart with each line of 8. So yeah, let me get on with that and let's start the time lapse. So grab a drink, grab a snack, turn up the tunes, and let's get this time lapse going. Well, I would call that a definitive answer. It's pretty clear that spreading it out every 4 blocks will cause the copper to age faster. It doesn't matter the other method that you're using, spreading it out 4 is still the fastest method you can do. So, no, I am not going to change this so that it can be slimmer. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't make any sense to change it. Now, if you don't understand why this is happening, let's talk about how copper ages real quick. And I've got wax copper here so that it doesn't age on us. But copper will actually look and see every few ticks, like one copper block will be chosen at random to see if there is a chance for it to gain one stage of oxidation. And the way it does this is it checks in a 4 block radius around it. So 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. So even uh, left, right, up, down, back, forward. It doesn't matter. It checks in all these directions to see if there is another copper block there. If it does not, and I don't know the actual numbers on this, I'm just saying from what I have seen, there is a 75% chance that it will increase its oxidation by one stage. Now, if there is another copper block within that area, say that we've only got like this far, or if we even have it this far, it doesn't matter. If it's within a 4 block range, there is literally a 1% chance that it will oxidize. If it's copper that hasn't got any stages of oxidation. Now, on the flip side of that, with this section over here, you can see that this has oxidized quite a bit more than all of these. Well, that is because it is also checking the oxidation level of all the other copper. So if there is one there and one here that is in like a different stage of oxidation, it will take that into consideration. However, it's still a lower chance of oxidizing. I would say it's only like a 20% chance at oxidizing, maybe even lower than that, maybe like 10% chance that it will oxidize. So, with that being said, anybody that tells you that this method, we got the oxidized right there, is faster than spreading it out for, they are lying to you. Like that, there's no doubts in my mind about that. They are lying to you. It is not faster than spreading it out every 4 blocks. This method does work. It is faster than these. You can see that these, none of it has oxidized here. We have only one here that has oxidized one stage. All of the rest of this is still clean copper. It's just straight up clean copper. And if you don't believe me, this is just normal copper here. I'm going to click that. And you can see we go straight to the block. This is waxed here. We're going to that one. Empty again. You can see we're going to that. And I could do that on every single one of these blocks, except for this one. Go here. It's exposed. So this is not wax. And we can do the same thing over here. I'll go to an empty slot. We'll go here, bam, we are on just a normal block of copper. So there's no trickery coming from me whatsoever. Anybody else that says, oh no, this is faster or this method works, they're lying to you. Don't listen. Just know that the method for oxidation is not really that complex. However, the fastest method is still spreading it out 4, which is why we did the machine the way we did, having 8 channels on each side of the machine, wherein they spread them out a little bit further in some directions. Like if you go horizontal or vertical, they are more than 4 spread out. But if you're going down the line, each one of these, if I can hit the right button there, each one of these is exactly 4 blocks from the previous station. Come over here real quick and we can actually count this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So right there's where one would be, right there's where another one would be. It is exactly 4 apart. As far as this way, it is also 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 apart there. However, if you wanted to go up vertical, it would be much further than that. So yes, this contraption is big, but it needs to be big for a lot of the redstone to actually work. So again, anybody that is telling you that this method here is exactly the same as this method or this method, and that this method is the fastest, for the 100th time, they are lying to you. Don't listen to them. And Exuma, if I've said anything incorrect and you see this, like, please leave a comment and I will pin it. But this method that you have preached over the last few years is just not as fast as just spreading it out for. So, yep, I hope you guys enjoy that. And again, I mean no ill will towards Exuma or towards Pixel Riffs with my own version of what he did. I don't know why I'm even bringing him up, but he was the inspiration for me making my own version of this, even though he did it like 2 years ago. Anyway, guys, I'm Natanis Likens. I hope you have a great day. I hope you take care of each other, be good to each other, and God bless. I'm Natanis Likens, and subscribe.